Hello and welcome to another episode of A Ghost in the Magazine. I'm Stef.
And I'm Elle.
I'm Mel.
I'm Al.
I'm Molly.
And I'm Matt.
I'm so happy we have so many people on this episode. Hooray! Dearly beloveds, we're gathered here today to talk about urban legend. Okay.
You have a lot of people here. It's just unfortunate that the movie was so abhorrent.
I love this movie, Matt.
I thought it was solid too.
Right?
It was fun.
Yeah, I really
It's
liked
fun.
it.
Yeah.
It's okay. I'm fine being in the minority.
Well, at least we have to. I think it's good to have a little, here's where I'm coming from, okay? I have said it before, and this is the reason why we're covering it. That there was like a basic 90s slasher starter pack for me. It was Scream, I Know What You Did Last Summer, and Urban Legend. This is the last one that we have covered of the starter pack, and I gotta say, this hits a lot of highs for me considering how bad I felt revisiting I Know What You Did Last Summer. Like it didn't live up to what I had built it up to, but this one, it still slaps.
Not enough crabs in the trunk.
No, there wasn't. But there was a dead guy in a trunk.
There was.
True.
Yeah. That's something.
A dead Dean.
A dead legend.
Oh, yeah. Well, it'd be like that sometimes. Something else I did not remember, actually. Chucky being in the freaking beginning scenes. Like he had a little cameo in there. Charles Lee Ray.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
was the
Little,
Oh, I didn't realize that.
little
Didn't
Brad
either.
Dourif
This is
action.
Brad Dourif, yep.
Yeah. I was like,
How come he wasn't wearing that coat that seemingly everybody owned?
I don't know. That's a plot hole because, it was gloomy outside.
Like the adjunct outfit, the adjunct professor outfit for most people.
Okay, so I have to start by saying this. This movie affected me very deeply to the point that still to this day, and I saw this when I was like a teenager, a young teen, I still check the back seat of my car every time I get into my car.
I was gonna say that after I introduced myself.
So,
I'm Matt, and I still check the back seat of my car.
it's not funny. Like, it's a serious issue that I have. I love slashers. I never really think that stuff is gonna happen, but I have a hatchback, and they don't call it a Honda Fit for nothing. You could fit a whole murderer.
You could fit a whole Robert Englund in there.
You sure could. You sure could.
Okay, question.
Yeah.
First of all, was anyone else just waiting on the edge of their seat for the fucking Noxema girl joke?
Well, I knew it was coming.
Didn't hit. It didn't hit.
Yeah, knowing it was coming, it's I wasn't waiting on bated breath for it, so to speak.
No, and even when I was a kid, I remember watching this movie for the first time and my stepmom yell laughing, ha, because she is the Noxema girl. It's literally like that the Family Guy character who always laughs and goes, ha, it's funny because it's true. Laugh. It's not that funny.
I have some questions about this movie, and I'm not going to get too far off track like I tend to do sometimes. I'm going to keep it pretty loyal to the source material. All right.
Crossing my arms.
I see the looks that you're giving me. I'm honest. I'm being truthful.
I'm just preparing myself.
Okay.
What questions?
Oh, just as we go along, just about when the girl's speeding away from the gas station and she drives away and the fuel pump or the fuel handle is still in there, but cut scene to the whole like thing being screwed back in and the door being closed.
Mm.
I didn't notice.
The wet to dry, like from scene to scene, they just couldn't keep any continuity. The audio mix is just awful. Like, it's... oh boy.
Okay, so I guess I watched this movie differently than how Matt watches these movies, but
With vitriol and hatred.
I just didn't have a bad time. I think that the concept is interesting. Yeah, spoiler alert. I'm gonna start from the end. This beautiful, terrifying lady here. I'm just gonna be so for real. I love her, and
Mhm.
So I support her.
Me too. Me
I
too.
don't
Herbert.
condone murders or whatever under usual circumstances, but I'm gonna be super for real. Her shit was very valid. Like the whole issue here is that her high school sweetheart, the love of her life, was killed in that urban legend, the gang high beam initiation, which is like, who the fuck, respectfully, if any of y'all have friends who have done it, but who the fuck just thinks like that's a good time? Like two white teenage girls chilling in their car on a random night, like, let's do this to a stranger. What do you think is gonna happen?
What about the newspaper clipping later on when it says teen killed by like gang initiation? Should say like 35-year-old teen killed.
They're all 100. Like they're
Yeah.
all in their 40s. They're all, it's aggressive. Like the way that they tried to look. You can't afford college students. Like they're probably cheap. Like they're probably inexpensive to hire.
They
Or
had to
any-
like, bathe every 2 seconds and not have huge 5 o'clock shadows because they were grown men.
Literally.
Well,
Mhm.
how many fucking movies is Joshua Jackson in this era? Just like every movie has
Every
him in
movie.
it.
I love
Every
it.
movie. Yeah.
That
I
hair
love
though.
Casey, and
Yeah, the hair.
I loved the blonde hair, and I loved the Dawson's Creek theme song coming on in the fucking car. I did.
They also, Tosh had Stabbing Westward on, which that is a deep cut from my middle school years. And I was like, oh my God, I haven't heard that song forever.
Did I mistake that or did I also hear a Remy Zero song later on?
I'm not sure. There were 3 songs that she had. The Stabbing Westward one, I can't remember which one it was, but
I
She
can't
also
even save
had
myself
a-
song.
yeah,
All right.
that's that Stabbing Westward. And then there was like a Rob Zombie song on at one point too. I can't remember which one was the banging, and then there's twice when she's at a computer.
And Danielle Harris, I'm sorry, like I love her, but ever since I watched what was it, the second Hatchet, I cannot stop looking at her eyebrows.
Oh no!
I'm-
Don't do her like that.
I talk
I-
about this a lot. I love her though. She's great.
I love her
She-
too.
Underutilized in this.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
Other
Uh,
than her and Rebecca Gayheart, and Robert Englund, like were any of these people, well, I guess Josh Jackson, none of them were like movie stars, like just Robert Englund, right?
Jared
I
Leto
don't
was
know.
in some stuff.
Mhm.
Was he in some stuff at that point?
Yeah, he'd been in like
Oh my
2 movies, I think, because he was the big catch for this movie to like try and like bring
Yeah.
people in. It's like, oh, we have Jared Leto, and before he was weird. And then I was reading that apparently about 4 months after the movie came out, he did an interview where he openly and like intensely denied the fact that he knew this movie existed. They were just like,
What?
you know that movie you were in, Urban Legend? He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I've never heard of that movie.
All
It's a full article. He's insane.
he's fucking weird. Literally
He's
all
so
of his
weird.
scenes are intense close-ups of his face while he stares out with his mouth open. We know it's you.
He has got the blue eye stare, and he's
Yeah, but it's
representing it.
not. Yeah, okay.
His haircut is just shy of being as bad as Josh Hartnett's haircut in The Faculty.
Josh Hartnett's hair in The Faculty is iconic. It doesn't matter how bad it is, Matt. It's iconic.
I'm just
That
saying.
90s stoner. I got my hair like stuck in the fucking lawnmower. It's good. It's bad good. Okay.
And this guy playing Parker, this Michael Rosenbaum guy, I hate his guts. Was he the guy from Sorority Boys?
I don't know what that is.
Does that sound, you don't know about that? That's an awful movie. It's really bad. You don't want to see it.
You said sorority.
Yeah, I looked it up and he is, but he is so familiar. I swear he's in something else.
I
don't
hate
know
his face.
I feel like he
Yeah.
played Lex Luthor in a Superman like Smallville or something.
I
Is that
don't know
right?
if that's right, but it sounds like it could be right. But I'm gonna tell you what, they matched him up really well with Tara Reid. I hate the sound of her voice and like her little noises. I don't mean to be an asshole, but I'm sick of Tara Reid. Like, please, I don't ever want to see her.
She was so iconic for this era, though.
I
Like
know.
this,
Yeah.
that's what.
I didn't like her then either. I'm like, please stop casting her and stuff. Like her voice, and then like the way her pants always sit right above her coochie, like that line of her pants right above.
That was the time too.
Yeah.
Like that.
Fighters.
I don't like it.
I hated it as somebody who was like in
that's
junior
my
high
next
and high
one.
school during that period. I fucking hated that.
Yeah, it's gross.
This was
is a definite-
98. I thought this was later for some reason. I guess I thought it was like 2000. I guess it's
It feels like it. It has that like 2000, 2001 like vibe.
yeah.
Yeah, but I know deep in my heart of hearts. So let's go back to her and why she's so fucking crazy. That gang high beam thing, like, so because that happened, she decides that she's gonna exact her revenge, and she's gonna do it with urban legends. I think that that's so lit. Good, like, I don't condone murders, but like, good for you, girlfriend. Keep it funky and fresh.
And this is because she lost her boyfriend who she was going to marry.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and it wasn't Natalie's car, but I'm here to say that Natalie is a shitty fucking friend, okay? And she's just a bad friend, and she stays a bad friend. I kind of hate her.
Alicia Witt's character. Yeah, I was hoping to like someone in this movie, and it just didn't happen.
Nope. Well, I mean,
Whoa.
Yeah.
Or Queen.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, but like, all right, I said I wasn't gonna touch the low hanging fruit, but
I knew you were gonna. Let's
I
go.
mean, everybody knows she killed someone in real life, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but we're not. I'm not talking about her in real life.
Do you think she was forcing it, like with the crazy at the end, though? Like it felt really forced.
It did.
Yeah.
She's so like pretty though, and then all of a
Too pretty.
sudden the camera goes on her and she looks like fucking Cruella DeVille. I was like, holy shit. Like
So I was reading because I'm like to do the behind the scenes deep dive things. They thought for some reason that the curlier her hair was, the more evil she was, and so that's why she looked insane. They made her hair bigger to show that she had transitioned to her evil state.
I thought, okay, all right, listen, as a curly haired bitch, I thought that might be the case, but I was hoping it was just like this bitch was laying down, and when
No.
I lay down, my hair gets bigger. I'm offended.
yeah.
Yeah, she
Oh my.
was too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she was
Yeah.
not happy about it. She's like, that makes no sense and it's the dumbest thing, but she's just like, I couldn't say anything because it was the end of the movie and we were already here. So she was not thrilled about that choice either. She's like, it doesn't make any sense at all.
It's just like the glasses and ponytail trick, you know, that
I just
Oh,
had
Oh, we've talked about this, yeah.
but
Yeah.
that is a little bit more yikes. It could be a little
It's shitty because Elle and I have had lots of like conversations with each other or like can't tame the beast today. Like our hair is it's just so big. And
Mine's so damp.
legitimately sometimes I know it's like straight right now, but like I'm mixed and I have like Puerto Rican hair on the side and it's black in the back. And I was just telling my boyfriend I can't always replicate a hairstyle because my hair literally does what it wants. And a couple years ago, I cut my hair really short because my hair was just getting so tangled, it would make me cry because I just couldn't manage it. So for that to be equated with evil, that hurts my feelings.
Yeah, it's definitely an ism, if you know what I mean. But
Mhm.
Feels like it, yeah.
So I was happy to see Pam Grier in this.
Yeah.
But that brings me to another question is, do like campus security guards usually carry guns?
yeah,
They do?
Mm,
Really?
a lot of
Hmm.
them do.
Yeah.
The ones that
It's been a long time since I've been to college. One more question. So when Tara Reid's character is like getting attacked at the studio, like first of all, I had questions about like everybody hearing the broadcast as she left because the microphones were in there, but then I saw she had like a little headset on. What is the range of that headset?
That's what I was
Decoration.
wondering.
But it
not
was like broadcasting through the
Yeah,
radio
she's
system.
like running around the whole building and it's still broadcasting.
I just feel like that can't be real.
It's not. As someone who has worked for iHeartRadio and been in booths like that, that's not how that works. It's just not. It's not how that works.
That pop filters coming on and off left and right, and those like every scene. It's just like I've found so many little things that just distracted me from the movie. And I'm sorry.
You don't have to apologize.
I always do.
I didn't know any of that stuff. I was at techie in the 90s. I was still quite young, as most of us. So, I don't remember a lot of the tech stuff, but I do remember thinking that this movie was advanced when I first saw it.
Yeah.
I
No,
didn't even consider that this was like when you guys were talking about the range of this stuff, like that this is 98. There's no fucking
Mhm.
shot. No shot whatsoever.
Oh,
Yeah, this movie's older than me, so I don't know all about the.
well, damn.
Ah, a young one.
Yes.
I saw this movie in college, guys. That's my age.
I was 13 when it came out.
I was 8.
I would have been, what, it's 98, so I would have been 6.
19 for me.
Okay, yeah,
-2.
enough to
Not negative.
back at the time.
I'll just come out and say I hated it so much.
Well, I have to be honest. Now that I know the curly haired thing, it just like took the wind out of my sails about
Yeah.
the movie, and I'm just kind of like, all right, I hate that.
Yeah. Well, at least she did too. At least it wasn't something that she was on board with and still thinks it's weird. I did read that the girl who plays the lady who played the security like guard who played Reese, before she got onto Broadway, she was on a Broadway star. Before she was on Broadway, she was actually a campus security guard. So she was like actually had like on-hand
Aw.
experience doing this. And so everyone like really loved having her on set because she was like, oh, this is like something I'm used to. And so they're having issues. I'm used to having people coming to me with these problems. So she was like, yeah, this is like hands-on experience for me. She was way overqualified. She said, she's not the fact that she was on Broadway and she'd acted and she's like super talented. She's like, no, I've been here and I know how this works. She's fun. She's a fun character.
She's fun. I'm glad she didn't die.
Mhm.
I'm glad that she had to-
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was sure she was gonna die.
She's in
Oh,
the second one,
yeah.
isn't she?
You listen, I like to pretend that there's not a fucking second one because why did they feel the need to do that? Like they could have just wrapped this up in a tiny little package. Oh, this crazy bitch, she survived. She's moving on to another school, whatever she's gonna do. But no. I do want to talk more about how Natalie was a bad friend. And like that's like the last thing that I have to say, because even she didn't know this bitch was crazy. So like the whole movie, she's talking about her crush on Paul, and this girl uses her little googly eyes, and the first chance she gets, she smooches him. Well, hello?
Yeah,
Like,
that's
she
fucked
broke
up.
the girl code so hard. I was like, go ahead, take her kidney.
Take her kidney
Which-
for that alone.
Kidney or liver, who knows? She didn't know.
Whatever.
Whichever's the first organ you see, grab that hoe. I can't imagine. I don't care how sad I am. I don't care if like my coping mechanism is being hugged or kissed by a strapping man and I'm on the like edge of depression or whatever. If the dude, my best friend, comes up to me and he's trying to comfort me or whatever, I'm like, thanks, man. Like elbow tap. You don't put
I
your
mean, like everything she did, because like obviously if the car is not going and you're feeling it tugging on something, you don't keep trying to drive away, because she like she didn't need to hang the dude. That was like she
Right.
could have stopped the car. When like who walks into a dorm room where she thinks someone else is like having sex and then just goes to bed and puts their headphones on? You could leave and then come back. Like what? Like she has no brain cells.
I
There's
thought that was
nothing
so
going
weird
on in her
too.
head. It's
Yeah.
she's
Why are you
like,
just going to sleep?
That's
who does
disgusting.
that? Who does that?
Well, to be fair though, her roommate should have put like a sock on the door or something. I would have been embarrassed. I wouldn't have known what to do. I probably
Yeah.
stood in the door for a minute, like not registered she was getting her cheeks clapped. And then yeah, I'm gonna go. Can you please give me I'll be back in like 30 minutes. And hope.
Yeah.
I'd just like to point out that I think her accelerating in that car was probably the right move.
Only because you hate that guy.
Yeah, I do.
But also, like, she did it twice where, like, these dudes, that guy and Paul were like, hey, do you want to go somewhere and talk? Why would you
Yeah.
know what that
Right.
means?
It
And
was like the same fucking pickup both times. What the
Yes.
fuck?
what are you doing?
And
No,
you drove way back in the woods. Like, you know, you're going 5 miles back in the woods in the dark. You know what's up. Like,
yeah,
I would have been like a long time ago.
yeah, you could just go ahead and turn the whip around. You can let me out on the street. Like, I'm not.
After it happened the first time where she found out the guy was hitting on her and then got murdered, I would avoid doing the same thing at all costs.
Yeah.
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 I think it would have been funny if that creepy janitor guy was like, yeah, so do you want to go someplace and talk? Like, just got it for a third time.
She probably would.
Because
She
she's
was
so
right.
dumb, she probably would have said yes.
I did like how there was like lots of possible twists and turns in this movie. I knew it was her, but like, you're not always gonna suspect that it's her. There were lots of
Well, especially when you have this on the cast.
right.
like-
I'm gonna assume it's him. Like I'm really,
Yeah.
especially because he's like that diehard newspaper boy. I'll do
Mhm.
anything for a good story, whatever. Like,
Nerd.
that what's his face Parker was like, oh, that whole thing that he was spinning about Paul, totally plausible. Totally.
Steph, do you rate this up there with like Scream? And I know it sounds like maybe a little higher than I Know What You Did Last Summer.
It's higher than I Know What You Did Last Summer. For sure. But nothing goes past Scream.
No,
But
you can't
Scream
pass
is
that.
heavy. Like Scream is there. You just can't.
I think that they did a little bit better job with the red herrings and I Know What You Did Last Summer. I wasn't convinced by any of this. It's not quite there for me. Doesn't quite reach that. I'm not even gonna say I Know What You Did Last Summer on a pedestal. Scream is obviously on a pedestal,
Of course.
but just like this is like third tier to me. I'll stop bashing it, but
You
that's
can
just
do
how I
whatever you
feel.
want. This is an open opinion podcast, and it's not even necessarily that I have this movie on a pedestal. We're just talking about within the realms of this starter pack, not with other movies, because it's just not going to win compared to the shit we
No.
like. Like, we're recording Ted Raimi month right now, and like, it's not. It's ridiculous, but it's all based on what you like.
I actually had a question. Why would you want to work at the college? Why would you want to work at the college where that happened to you? Every single time you cross that hall, you're gonna go, "Oh, I nearly died in there."
That's like his bread and butter. He likes weird shit. He likes mysterious shit. He teaches the urban legend class, and he's very like in depth about. Like, he brought pop rocks and soda to class. Like, can you imagine?
Stupid.
Like, don't do that.
He didn't bring enough for everybody,
He
and
should.
I
No.
find that offensive.
Same.
We didn't even talk about the urban legend,
Christ.
but that's okay because I hated the dog in the microwave.
Yeah.
That was not.
That was out of
tasteful.
nowhere. Yeah.
I'm like, this bitch was incensed. She was pissed that Natalie was kissing her man. She said,
Well,
"You
who-
know what? I'm gonna put a dog in a microwave." That I don't like because I
The-
just remember she did that. I don't like that. She could have picked
So-
anything else.
Who was the voice on the phone that called him to tell him about the dog in the microwave then?
I don't know. She must have had a voice changer thing, and I wish that they could have just like not done that at all because
I almost wonder if they were like setting it up for her and Jared and Paul or whatever his name was in the movie to do a Scream thing where there was two of them, and they decided movie was way too close, so they decided to make him somewhat of a good guy, and he was supposed to be the one who was like helping with all those things because it is very Scream coded. It is a very Scream like clone movie. And so there's a lot of things that are just like, even with like the way that like as she's like getting ready to like tell the big plan, the way that she screams at Natalie twice is very similar to like the whole reveal thing in Scream. So it's kind of like, wonder if there was supposed to be more than one.
I actually thought that was
Situation.
going to be one of the twists. I thought that he was going
Yeah.
to be the other killer. I was like, oh,
I
they're
did
doing
too.
a Scream thing where there's two killers. Was my exact
Yeah.
thought.
I think I would have hated that a
The
lot.
other mocker.
Yeah, I mean, I loved it in Scream, but like, don't do it again.
So yeah, this movie ends and she's. I had a question, but you already addressed it. I was gonna ask, is this the same fucking college? But no, it's a different college.
She also looks so much older with the straight dark hair. I'm like, and then the guy who's like telling the urban legend story literally looked like he was 50. I'm like, what are we doing? Are you guys the professors or the students? Yeah.
Yeah, and then I could have done without the terrible Noxema joke.
I didn't mind it. I didn't. It was just like another nugget, like the Dawson's Creek song.
Next time I do a show, I want to do it on a movie that I like. Because I'm on a fucking hot streak right now of bad movies.
I thought you liked Castle Freak.
I did.
Ew.
It's not good though.
It's not good.
Of course it's not.
Nothing we watched
Rusty.
was good.
I mean,
Noroi was good. Noroi was good.
No, I mean for like the 31 days, like all of those were like pretty bad.
I don't know.
think.
Curse was good. I had a good time
Curse
watching
was.
Curse.
There were some gems amongst them.
Well, yeah.
I wouldn't watch any of them again though. I don't think.
Well, also, like, you guys could suggest movies anytime. We've got a whole server. Anybody could. Otherwise, it's just Elle and I. Like, what are we gonna do? That's how we got Ted Raimi month.
Hell
That's
yeah.
exactly how
Which
we
is a
got
gift.
him.
But he is the podcast daddy husband, so
That's true. Not Jared Leto.
ew. That is such a repulsive picture, Al. Thank you for
I
putting
know.
that here.
That was the
didn't-
first thing that came up, and I was like, oh, I was like, this works.
I didn't like him till he got weird.
No, I just don't like the man. No.
No.
I just he still
Wow.
has. That's such a. You can't really see his eyes in that picture, and his eyes are still.
Yeah.
He's got fangs in this picture. He's got fangs.
It looks like he has extensions.
So let's rate this sucker. I'm not gonna go first.
I was
Oh,
gonna say,
you
I give it an even 3, just because I don't like slashers. Slashers are not my thing. This was fun. I love the urban legend concept. I like my favorite like anime is about like urban legends in a school. So like this kind of hits that, there's a lot of potential to it. It wasn't good, but I had fun.
Anybody want to guess?
2.
Al, you guess.
I was gonna give it 1, and so I figured you're either 1 or 0.5.
0.5. She knows me.
We're very similar.
It's for better or for worse, right?
I'm at a 3 on this one. Solid. Mid.
Yeah, 3.8.
Oh,
Just giving like a Dave
Good,
Portnoy
yeah.
score. All right.
Mhm.
wow. I gave it a 3. Ooh.
I'm giving my ability to stay on task a 5 chud rating this episode.
Woo!
Give Matt a round of applause.
Thank
He
you.
did a great job. Good
It
job.
was fun, everyone. I gotta go. My grandma's here.
Oh,
Hi, Matt.
Oh,
he does that. That's how he always ends podcast recordings. With that.
Like, oh, my grandma's here. It's time to, get this party started.
Yeah, bring Grandma on. We want to hear
Yeah.
Grandma's
Hey.
opinion.
I want to know personally if Grandma's a curly-haired cutie and how she feels about this whole debacle. That's it. So you can find this podcast on the interwebs at ghostinthemagazine.site or on Twitter at GITM Podcast. You can find me on Twitter at WitchXPudding.
You can find me at Nocturnical.
You can find me at Hedda_Mel.
You can find me at Maybe Mockingbird.
you can find me at night_T.
Okay, bye.